Hi everyone, I'm an Afrezza user in Australia and I've got two problems with Afrezza. One of them is that it's not subsidized or covered by insurance here, which means it costs a fortune. And the other problem is that sometimes I find the 4-unit dosages are a bit too strong. They bring my sugar down too much and can cause hypos. So in this video, I'm going to show something I do that helps with both of these problems. The first thing to note is that the box of Afrezza that contains the 12-unit cartridges and the 8-unit cartridges is the best value for money when talking dollars per unit. Because of this, I order the 12 and 8-unit boxes. They contain these 12-unit and these 8-unit cartridges. And after I receive them, I take some of those 12 and 8-unit cartridges and I divide their contents into these. This is a standard 4-unit cartridge, which you can get by dividing an 8-unit cartridge into 2 or a 12-unit cartridge into 3. And I've also invented for myself a 2-unit cartridge, which is just a 4-unit cartridge with a little white sticker on it. And I make those by taking a 4-unit cartridge and dividing it into again. So now I'm going to show you how it all works. The first thing to notice is that an Afrezza cartridge can be taken apart if the little white cup is sort of in the middle of the cartridge. You can just squeeze the edges and it comes out. This one has been used, so it's empty, and I'll just put it over here. And now I'll show you how to open a cartridge that's still got powder in it. This is an 8-unit that has Afrezza in it, and I'm going to first slide the cup towards the middle, but I'm going to angle it downwards so that the Afrezza doesn't fall out. And you may have to squeeze the sides a bit to get it to move, but once it's in the middle, it feels loose and you can press against one of the sides to pull it out. Now inside this cartridge is this white powder that you can see if the focus on the camera is good enough. And at this point, you have to very carefully start transferring some of that powder into a second cup. So I just hold them like this and I gently tap the one on top, and I'm careful not to let too much fall out at once because sometimes it cakes together, and tapping it a bit can help to loosen it. Sometimes I sort of rotate one of them to help loosen the powder a bit more. Alright, now I've got a bit of powder in both cups, and what I do is I tap them on a hard surface. And I check the contents to see if they're roughly equal. Now, in this case, the one on the right has more powder in it, so I'll just do a bit more transferring. After you've tapped them for a while, they tend to cake together again, so just be careful not to have too much of it fly out. Alright, I've tipped a bit more in there and I'll tap them again. And now they're about even. Hopefully we can get that focus. Anyway, And now I will reassemble a 4-unit cartridge. You just line up into the middle as before and press down. And to lock it in place, you need to slide it towards the front, towards the pointy end. Just push it in that direction and make sure it goes all the way. Make sure that there aren't any gaps between the cup and the cartridge, otherwise some of it might fall out. So I've just created a 4-unit cartridge. It's important to note that these things are supposed to be measured by weight, not volume, because powder is notoriously inconsistent in its density. But given that most people find Afrezza dosages don't need to be exactly accurate, and certainly a lot less accurate than injected insulin, I don't find it to be much of a problem in my case. But obviously, be aware and do this at your own risk. So now that I've created a 4-unit cartridge and I have 4 units in this cup, I'm going to break open these 2-unit cartridges that have nothing in them. And just going to put that to the side because we don't need it anymore. And I'm going to transfer half of these 4 units into that 2-unit cup. So once again, a bit of tapping. And looks like the left one has a little bit more in it, but they're pretty close. Focus on me. Oops, I just dropped one, but luckily nothing came out. All right, let's do a bit more transfer. I'm still not quite happy with that, so I'll try to even it out again. Okay, so now I'm going to reassemble these cartridges. Remember, click it into the middle and then push it towards the front, and that powder will stay inside. And the other one, like so. So we have taken an 8-unit cartridge and created 1 4-unit cartridge and 2 2-unit cartridges. I haven't used the 12-unit cartridge, it was just here to illustrate the 12-unit option. But you can, I have split 12-unit cartridges into 3 equal parts to get 3 4-unit cartridges. Okay, so that's it. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a pharmacist. I can't tell you how risky this is, but so do it at your own risk. But I have been doing it for the last year and I haven't noticed any particular problems. I can't really speak as to how accurate the dosages are because I don't have a lot of consistency in my insulin sensitivity as it is. So feel free to report on your own experiences. Hope this helps, and happy Afrezzing.